Well, this here is the MG Astor. Now, you've already seen my quick look video where I've given you a walk around and shown the exteriors of the car. So I won't show you the exteriors today, but I'll drive it, and we're at a very special place. We're at the BIC, the Booth International Track. Now, I have driven this car's main rival, the Seltos, on the same track. So if you want to check out that video, I'll put the link in the description box below. It's on my other channel, which of course is a channel reserved more for Hindi videos. So if you haven't checked out my other channel, do go there and subscribe to it. It's called Ashish Masih Cars, and you can check it out. But today we'll talk about the Astor and how it is to drive. This particular version is the 1.3 turbocharged petrol. There's also 1.5 petrol, but this one is the hot one, so to say. So let's jump inside, show you some interiors, and after that drive it at India's only F1 circuit, the Booth International Racetrack. Hi, my name is Ashish Masih, you're watching my Auto Portal, and if you've come here for the first time, do like and subscribe to this channel, and also hit that notification bell so that you get all our notifications about when we make a new upload. Well, so let's quickly show you the interiors of the MG Astor, and I'm sure by now you've seen a lot of videos out there which show you the interiors and the build quality, but I thought let me just tell you again why the Astor is the best car in its segment for sheer quality levels, for sheer overall appeal, for just the brilliant way the cabin has been designed. Now, this part of the cabin, the center console, is slightly tilted towards the driver. As you can see, the instrumentation over here is slightly towards the driver, so it gives you a sense of driver appeal inside the cabin. And the digital gauges just look very premium, very nice, and they're very sharp to look at. It's not as if they're difficult to read. They're very nice and sharp to look at as well. And what you'll also really like is this touchscreen. It's the best in the business, very easy to use, easy to navigate through. All the menus, sub-menus, everything just feels absolutely faultless. And only area where I think that MG could have improved this car is in the camera department, because the rear camera's quality isn't really the best. It could have been a little better, and that's something where maybe they should improve this car. But other than that, you get an excellent view of this. Other than that, it really is fantastic. Apple's CarPlay, Android Auto, really all the works, and it's just a fantastic place to be. This really is the car of the future. This is the kind of car which you will get in the future, because not only does it get connected apps, you can also start this car from your mobile phone. You can turn it off from your mobile phone and do a host of other things with it. So it's just a fantastic late departure warning, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, ADAS, where the car brakes automatically so you don't collide with the next person ahead of you or the next car ahead of you, and really the works in terms of all those features. Overall, it's better than the Tiguan, it's better than the Kushaq, it's better than the Creta and the Seltos, and definitely ahead of all its other rivals for the feel-good factor, for the in-car ambience, as well as the features, as well as the overall appeal. Let's see how good the back seat is of this car. Well, so I'm in the back seat now of the MG Astor. Now, this car really is very impressive when it comes to back seat comfort and space. Now, the comfort isn't only about space, which is quite good in this car. Loads of space here below the seats where I can keep my feet. Knee room is generous. Headroom also is quite good. And the seats are very comfortable. The support for your under thighs is good. And the backrest angle also is spot on. And the best point is that the cushioning on these seats is just spot on. Neither is it too hard and neither is it too firm. So I think MG really has done its work very well. You also get these little file keepers over here where you can keep those odds and ends, and your USB ports as well as the AC vent, which are over here. So it's a nice and comfortable place to be. You'll also appreciate the fact that this armrest has a couple of beverage holders. So on that long distance journey, you should be very comfortable in these seats. It's a good 3-seater at the back, but also you can use it as a 2-seater. Overall, one of the best seats in this segment, definitely ahead of the Tiguan and the Kushaq. And is it better than the Creta and the Seltos? I think only a comparison will tell that. Anyways, let's jump outside and check out the boot now. Well, let's quickly show you the boot of the car now, because the boot is one of the most important aspects of not only my reviews but any car. Now, the MG logo here smartly also works as the button for the opening of the boot lid, so it's a smart thing. And the color of this car is especially nice. I like this shade of orange and rust. It's really nice and really shines when the weather is clean. Now, the boot in itself is quite large and quite big. You get these sides over here on this side as well as the other side, where you can keep some odds and ends. So boot space utilization is at its best. The only issue is that this sill is rather high up from the ground. So sometimes, well, you might need, if you're loading up a bag or a box, you might need to load that bag up and, put in effort and use your back. So that's the only thing. But that's also quite good because then you get a free workout of your back. But that's a bit of a joke. It has to be high because this is an SUV. It's not a compact SUV or a pseudo SUV. It's a proper SUV. So these things have to be slightly higher from the ground up. And that's the way it is designed. Overall, nice and spacious. Double thumbs up from my side. It's definitely ahead of the Kushaq and the VW Taygun, but is it better than the Creta and the Seltos? Well, I think it's almost at par and very similar. All these three cars are very similar, but overall MG's done a fantastic job with the overall packaging of the interiors. They really utilized every inch and every millimeter inside very well, and this car doesn't seem to compromise in any way on space. Now let's jump on the front seat, drive this car around, because we are at the BIC, the Booth International Track, and of course we have done a few videos over here before as well of its rivals. If you want to check them out, I'll put the link in the description below, or you can also go to my other channel where I do a lot of Hindi videos, which is of course Ashish Masih Cars. And before going there, here's a quick message from our sponsors, Budmo.com. Budmo, as you might be aware, is the best place to search for your spare parts. You might have an SUV, you might have a hatchback, you might have a sedan. They have the spare parts for all kinds of vehicles, and they also promise you 10 days assured return in case you don't like the spare part. But that's not the best part. The best point is that they have the same component from a host of different manufacturers, so you get flexibility of pricing, so you can choose which part you want from which component maker. Check out Budmo.com. They really are the experts when it comes to spare parts. Well, so now let's quickly talk about the heart of the matter, the essence of the car, and that of course is the engine. And how is the engine? Well, I have good news for you that if you are someone who enjoys a dynamic drive, if you are someone who just loves taking his car out and thrashing it on the highways, or maybe you're on a racetrack like I am today, this is the fantastic product to do that in, because the handling of this car is quite good. Now, it's not really a sports car like MG used to make earlier on in their history in the 60s and 70s, but even for an SUV, the overall dynamics are quite good. The steering wheel in particular is something that I really liked. Now, why do I like the steering wheel? I'll tell you, because even though it's light, it's pretty accurate, pretty agile, and it's got the right amount of communication. Now, light steering wheels normally don't seem to offer you good communication. They just seem to be, not that great in communication. But this one, even though it's light, it is very communicative and very precise. So that's something which will put a smile on your face. It doesn't feel, disconnected from the road. It feels very well connected, and it's as crisp as a bag of chips is. So that's something that buyers will truly appreciate. What you'll also appreciate about this car is the ride comfort. The ride on this car is exemplary. Now, yes, you might say that I'm driving on the racetrack. There aren't any badly patterned roads here. So how can I say the ride comfort is good? Now, I can say ride comfort is good because high speed stability of this car when you're driving it on the racetrack in excess of 120 kph, it is quite good, and this car feels rock solid, very stable, very reassuring. So that's something that buyers who drive a lot on the highways will truly appreciate and also enjoy. What you'll also appreciate about this car is the engine refinement. The 1.3, even though it's a turbocharged engine, and the engine just seems like a distant murmur. It's a very far distant murmur when the engine is even revving hard. So that's something that a lot of keen buyers and keen drivers will truly appreciate about this car. What you'll also really appreciate about this car is the fact that visibility is excellent. I can see the edge of the bonnet over here, which means that people who are buying SUV for the first time and aren't very sure about SUV driving and SUV ride and handling, they will truly appreciate the overall balance of the car, because they can see the edges, and driving this car in the city will not be an issue in the least. Now, how is the performance of this 1.3 turbo in particular? The mid-range is very strong. Initial power is good. The mid-range is very strong. All you need to do is just smash the accelerator pedal hard, and this car just flies. So that's something which really is very good on this car. And what's also very good apart from the mid-range is the fact that even when you rev it hard, the engine largely remains quiet. Excellent visibility all across. Not only do you see the bonnet, but the rearview mirrors also are very good. And of course, this car has even blind spot assist and a host of other features and a host of other equipment to keep you and your loved ones safe. So that's something which is also there. Now, a lot of people will never truly experience the dynamic nature of this car like I am at the BIC today. So that's something which some buyers will never really be aware about. But as I just said, it is a car in which you can drive at the BIC, take it out for a spin, and have a laugh and enjoy it, because it is an enjoyable car. One thing though, I wish that MG had added is the fact that they should have put paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, because it's a car which is quite sporty to drive, very dynamic to drive. So paddle shifters would have definitely added a little more character to the driving nature of this car. But again, you can use this triptronically. You can use the gearbox in manual mode, and it's a 6-speed unit. It's a automatic gearbox, torque converter gearbox, and the gear shifts are very slick, very fast in manual mode as well as in automatic mode. So really no complaints. But yes, paddle shifters would have been a feature which I would have liked. So overall, with its long list of features, its active and passive safety kit, its radar-based features, its camera-based features, this really is the safest car in terms of technology, in terms of the feature list in this segment. But that's not all, it's also the most refined petrol engine car in this segment. It's brilliant to drive, the automatics are fantastic, it's got good amount of space, good to look at. And in short, what I'm trying to say is that the new MG Astor is the king and the benchmark of the mid-size segment now. If you're at the market for a mid-size SUV, definitely keep this on the top of your shortlist. I recommend a strong buy for the Astor. Check it out at an MG dealership, and I'm sure you'll be just as happy with this car as I've been at my test drive event at the BIC today. Bye for now, and thanks so much for watching. And before leaving, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We'll see you in the next one.